welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing today? So I did share with you, this is Lifestyle Africa, okay? I'm sharing with you all the gems that are around Africa, specifically from Ghana. I'm in Laboni. That sounds so English. I'm in Laboni. Laboni is like a really like a designated place in Accra for different types of lifestyle businesses, etc. And this particular lifestyle company I want to share with you is R&R Skincare, and this is owned by a lovely friend of mine called Valerie Obaze. She recently rebranded the store, and I really was passionate about sharing with you guys the new store and everything that Valerie has been working on over the past several years. So Valerie has really put so much into the branding and the marketing of it. We'll have a chat with her as well, because that is her background. She actually is from the UK as well, who's came to Ghana to build her African Dream brand, and she really wants to show the essence of luxury from Africa, and it's just beautifully executed. We're going to go inside, check out some products, try some stuff on, and of course we're going to have a chat with my lovely friend Valerie as well. So let's head on in and check out R&R Skincare. Thank you. This is the amazing team that are working so hard behind the scenes to bring this absolutely awesome brand to you. We're going in to see Valerie now. Her office is the office of dreams. When I first came here and saw just all the neutrals and the textures and everything and what it is, I'm just so inspired. Here is the lady.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Welcome to R&R HQ and flagship store.
Yes, I'm so glad to be here today. I mean, I've been here several times already, but each time it's just inspiring. But yeah, we want to have a good chat about R&R, the new branding, everything that you've been working on.
Relax now. You're like proper stiff.
Valerie.
Chanel.
First of all, we're on brand.
I know.
What's that for us?
Yes, listen, these days with this space, I just want to match the energy, and I've been very neutrals, and clearly you're thinking the same thing.
I'm all about energy these days, personally. Yeah. Speaking about brands, we've had a whole new rebrand of R&R.
We have.
And we've got a lot to talk about today. We want to talk about you and what brought you to obviously opening the new flagship store here in Laboni. So, yeah.
You want to dive straight in?
Yeah. Valerie, tell us about you and your background.
Okay.
And how you ended up building your African Dream brand.
Oh, I like that, African Dream brand. No one's called it that before. Yeah. What can I say about myself? I'm in my almost mid-40s. I grew up in London, in the United Kingdom, and I left when I was about 29 and I moved to Nigeria. This is where my husband was living at the time. So my background is Ghanaian. Even though I grew up and lived in London my whole life, I was always back and forth spending time in Ghana with family. And I moved to Nigeria. My husband, same thing, but with Nigerian background, spent time in Lagos with family, and he eventually moved there. So when we decided we were going to get married, the plan was that I would move to Lagos to join him, which is what happened. So first 29 years of my life in London, back and forth from Accra for family visits, and I studied communications and culture and media at Coventry University and went straight into PR after my degree. So I went initially into music PR, but the year I graduated was 2003. And that year there was a big shift in the music industry, and a lot of the big record labels at the time were merging. So great for music, not so great for new employees, because obviously if you were merging two huge record labels, people's jobs were getting cut, right? So there was no jobs on the horizon for me there. So I started to explore other PR areas of interest. The market was green then when I moved to Lagos 2009, and there were so many opportunities because Lagos is such a dynamic city. They have a wonderful fashion industry that was quite mature already at that point, music industry which was burgeoning, and Afrobeat, which we've all come to know and love. At that time you had artists like D'banj and P Squared and stuff that were and Two Face that were really getting big then. So I knew that with my career experience that I had something to offer, and of course some of these fashion brands which were mostly doing stuff locally and were trying to grow globally and doing bits and pieces, they also wanted PR representation. So I went straight in with some of the top fashion brand like Tiffany Amber, and I actually launched Davido's first album.
What?
Yeah, so I was his publicist then, yes.
That's amazing.
So we're talking about 2010, 2011 when he came out with his first album.
Why would I ask you? Because a lot of what I want to share, obviously we're going to speak about your wonderful brand and stuff, is the giving back. It felt like you started giving back to Africa from obviously your journey into going to PR in Lagos. You're now coming to Ghana now. How did that transition happen into Ghana? Obviously you're from Ghana, you're Ghanaian.
Yeah.
And then I guess what birthed R&R.
Okay, well I think Ghana's way down the line. So I moved to Nigeria in 2009. I didn't come to Ghana officially and move here till kind of mid 2016. So I spent 7 years in Lagos.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah, so by the time I moved to Ghana, I was not working in PR at all. So I started the brand R&R in Lagos when I was living there, and I just had my first child. And yes, my PR and marketing background helped me to create a brand that stood out amongst others. And for me, I was trying to fill a need. So it's not giving back as such as I'd never lived permanently on the continent up until that point. So I had a way of thinking and a way of viewing things and a way of shopping that was not mirrored once I moved over. So in the UK you have everything at your fingertips. There's all these stores that sell you all these beauty products that you're used to buying. You move to Nigeria now and all of a sudden on the shelves of the shops you're not seeing the brands you're used to seeing. Import.
What goes into it, the manufacturing, where is it made? You also mentioned about sustainability. How does it even apply to well-being and stuff? Because I find the brand itself and the products itself is very luxurious. It's kind of very comforting as well. And I'm sure that's a lot of thought behind that in terms of the production.
Well, I mean, you like to think so, but the brand started off in a very organic way, which was looking for a product. I have a baby. Why am I importing products? We've got amazing ingredients here. What can I use on her that is natural and is good for her skin? Ghana only came up because I moved here, although our raw materials were coming from Ghana. So the shea butter from Ghana, to me, I had an emotional connection to it because Ghana's my home, right? Ghana's where I'm from. And also Shea was also taken very seriously in Ghana. There were other brands that were working with Shea and creating products with Shea long before I came along. And actually some of those brands were my mentors. They were people that sold me raw material, and they were also telling me how to package, how to add essential oils and all of those things. So I naturally had an affinity to Ghana, so we were bringing in the raw materials from Ghana and packaging it and finishing it in Nigeria. So when the time came for us to move here, we decided to just move our entire headquarters here. But at this point we have a physical store in Lagos, and we have a physical factory and warehouse in Lagos as well. So we weren't going to stop operations there. It was just going to be our hub for the whole of Nigeria.
Okay, so how many stores do you guys have now?
Now we have 3 stores, so 3 physical stores. Our first store was in Lagos. That opened in 2013, July 2013. Second store was at the Accra International Airport, Terminal 3. I think that terminal launched in 2018, and we got a store there, and now we just opened our flagship store, which is attached to this HQ that you're at, and I think people see that on the video. So yeah,
I think that is an impressive journey.
Thank you.
I think it's inspiring as well. This is a brand for everyone here.
Absolutely.
I don't even know that it started with your daughter.
Yes,
that's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
So products can be used on everybody.
Newborn babies. It's the ingredients that we've been using for centuries. Our parents use shea butter on us when we're first born. Our first bath in African culture, normally after your first bath, they use, they massage you with shea butter. So it's something that we know is tried and tested. It's just that people found it difficult to use. The modern person was like, oh, this thing has a smell, or it's hard, or whatever, and that's understandable, especially if you live in a cold climate. You haven't got time to start warming it up and mixing and blending. So what I set out to do was to create a modern version of that natural products that our parents, our grandparents, our great grandparents have been using for centuries, and turn it into something that the modern consumer would be happy to use and to put on their shelf and look the part amongst the other cosmetic brands that they use.
So it seems like R&R as well also kind of birthed some other like sister brands out of obviously the inspiration behind the brands, such as Wellness Fest. We've done a video on Wellness Fest already, so it should be on the channel.
Oh, good.
But yes, tell us about how that ties in. I'm sure it kind of is affiliated with well-being and just confident, loving yourself, etc.
Well, one of the things as a PR professional that we always used to do is that you would look at calendar days, so National This Day, National Kissing Day, or whatever, and we'd put it on our calendar, and then we'd put our clients' products that were aligned with those specific days and make an event or a press release out of it. And so there is a thing called Global Wellness Day. So when you have a brand, you always look at what kind of events that you can tie into, so global calendar events, because the press are always talking about the same thing at those times. So if you're doing something that's tied in with National Kissing Day, they might just, in a magazine, they might feature all lipsticks for National Kissing Day, right? So you need to make sure that your press release is there, sitting on the editor's desk, so that they can pull your product in for those things. So that is my mindset. And so when we always had Global Wellness Day on our calendar, and we'd just come out of the pandemic, it's 2021, and what we wanted to do was have an event that we could, promote our new line of packaging, which was our refill packaging, so our sustainable packaging.
Oh, I love that.
And have something that we could have a group of influencers and press come along and experience R&R, but in a different way. So we took over a restaurant and we did like a yoga and brunch session for about 25 celebrities, influencers, press on Global Wellness Day, June 2021. And we streamed this live on Instagram. So what we realized after is people were saying, oh my gosh, where was this event? We'd have loved to come. And so we were explaining that it wasn't a ticketed event, it was a PR event essentially for awareness. And just to bring people together to just relax after a year of being scared, and lockdown in Ghana, our lockdown was only for 3 weeks, so it's nothing like what you experienced in the UK, but it was still a very volatile period where people's emotions and stress levels were all over the place. So we just felt like in June 2021 coming together on Global Wellness Day to just have a check-in with everybody, do a nice yoga session, follow it up with brunch, and have people interact again, because we become so used to being at home and not meeting with anyone.
So I love the fact that this is, it's built a community. R&R has actually built a community of well-being enthusiasts, and just even if you're not enthusiasts per se, it's getting people to think about important things such as well-being and stuff. So moving on to as well, the WSDP.
Yes.
The foundation that has been, I guess, created out of, again, the brand.
So WSDP stands for the Women of the Savannah Development Project, and our shea is sourced from the Savannah region, which is in the north of Ghana. So what we discovered is that big brands have been sourcing shea from the same parts of the country for the longest time, and they talk about the women in shea because all handmade shea is made by women, by hand.
Wow.
Handcrafted Shea, yeah. It's done by women like this lady here.
Yeah.
And when I went to go and discover the source of these, you did have some very, professional production sites. One of the ones we visited, and one who was our supplier for a long time, they had an amazing setup. But then you had these other ones which were smaller communities, smaller cooperatives, and these are the ones that the international brands were sourcing from and talking about these women. Yet the women were still in poverty as far as I could see. And so it just got me thinking that, okay, why is it that these women have been providing Shea and selling Shea for decades, but yet they're not really reaping the benefits of this wonder ingredient that everybody's using in their cosmetic formulations? So that's kind of what brought on the Women of the Savannah Development Project. So to develop the Women of the Savannah, and we made that our kind of NGO arm of R&R, and we got to a situation where we built our own processing center so the women can work from our processing center and produce our raw materials using modern equipment, so it kind of halved their workload, because producing Shea is a really, really long process. So considering how much it costs, you'd think that it should cost a lot more, because so much goes into the process. Everything is done handcrafted with the women's bare hands. So WST project is a very, very it's a very big project that's close to my heart, because I'm a woman, I have 3 daughters, and I have a lot of reverence for older women that birthed us, our grandparents, and I just want to see them doing well, because when a woman does well, future generations do well as well.
I mean, this is a very cultured brand as well, very traditional. There's traditional aspects, but obviously you put into your modern spin on it.
Exactly, yeah.
But I want us to go in the store and just check out some bits.
Yeah, let's do that.
Help myself. You can see I'm glowing.
Yes. So welcome to the store. So yeah, this is the new space. This is our flagship space. So we opened just a week ago, so this is very, very exclusive. We just wanted a home in Accra for the products, because a lot of people would ask us, where can I go to buy the products? And we did have a few partners that were selling the products across the country, but we didn't have our own physical space. So that was kind of, we eventually got here, and that was what birthed this space. And with the rebrand, we just felt it was the right time for this. In terms of my key products that I use every day, you have the liquid black soap, which I use as a face wash and also a body wash. Then I moisturize with the repair oil, so I have that here. I can try that on you. So this is my facial moisturizer, right? It's an oil, but it's not oily, so it doesn't block your pores. You can just feel that, see how that blends in, and have a smell. Very natural, pure.
Light as well.
Yeah, it's pure cold pressed baobab, which is another tree that grows and is indigenous to this country.
Yeah, it's not overbearing with regards to smell so much.
Exactly. And like I was saying, for me, I'm very much an oil girl.
Me too.
I do like the creams and lotions, but I just feel that oils work really well, and they just give you that added level of moisture. But oils without being too oily.
Yeah,
they blend into your skin. Yeah, it doesn't make you greasy. Yeah, exactly.
Have that in mind, exactly.
They're light oils, and they penetrate on a deep level. They don't just sit on the top of your skin. And then we have the moisturizers in whipped butters. We have a body butter balm, which you see here, which is just like a stick you can carry around with you, almost like a giant lip balm.
Oh yeah,
for your skin.
Like a wax stick. Similar to
so some people use it to tame their hair, tame their flyaway hairs. The men use it to tame their beards and stuff as well. Yeah, and then so we have the actual lip butters, and this is the Shea oil. So this is my everyday body moisture. Yeah. So I've never used a lotion again since I started using these. Yeah. And this is what I use. My entire family. This is how we moisturize on a daily basis.
Yes, I'm into oils as well. As I said, we did, when I first came in the shop, we tried out different, the oud.
Yes.
Lemongrass. This is lemongrass, isn't it?
Yeah, this is our Revive, which is pure lemongrass.
Fresh.
And we produce our own lemongrass, like I was saying earlier, in our WST farm.
Glowing.
Yes, and you're not greasy.
Yeah, it's not greasy.
Yeah, before you know it would have blended into your skin. all very, and it's 100% natural. You don't get much better than that. So yeah.
So even the lovely ladies here in store, the uniform.
Yes.
You can I have a job here?
You have to apply through our application process.
I can wear this really fly uniform that they got on.
But yeah, so the uniforms, we got them designed by a Ghanaian designer. His brand is called Ajabeng. His name is Casper, and he makes these just very lovely pieces that are very free-flowing linen, and I just felt like for this store we didn't want anything too restrictive. We wanted everyone to just feel relaxed, and when people walk in to just feel energized and at peace. So he came up with a design. You know, I gave him a brief, he came up with a design, and here we are.
Gorgeous lady. So much.
So yeah,
R&R Skincare is here.
it sure is.
La Bonnie.
Yes,
Yeah.
on the high street. One of the busiest streets when it comes to hospitality now.
Yes.
You've got a ton of restaurants on this street, and we're behind a coffee shop. And so if you want to look for us, we're on Google Maps. You can just put in R&R Skincare, and you know, wherever you are in the world, you can shop us online as well. So
Online as well.
yes.
So Valerie, thank you so much.
Thank you for
sharing with us
coming,
your
Chanel.
African dream. That's kind of the thing that we've coined, you know. I know obviously this is global, but that's what it is about. It's taking things from the continent and sharing it with the world.
Yeah.
And I just love how homegrown the brand is, the journey from the beginning to what it is now, and I'm sure there's more to come.
Oh, absolutely. I think the journey is just beginning, but in terms of the African dream, I think, you know, you're 100% right. You know, everyone is always taken from Africa, and no one's really built here, and I just seeing that the generations and generations to come are going to focus more on adding value to what is natural to us. So it's an exciting time.
Brilliant. Thank you, Val.
Thank you for coming. Come to speak to me. Thank you.